So yeah, let me cover the 3s now. Okay, and now for the 3s, like the hard attacks. So her standing 3 alone, it does really good burst damage, but you only really have a benefit for it in the corner. Like if we're talking about on hit, you can only really do this. You can only do standing 3 into the lasso mid-screen, and that's it. If you try to do this, as you can see, it behaves funny, and you don't really get much out of it. That's it. That's all you get to do. But when you're in the corner, so you can even wait till it's done, and you can do that. Or like, let's say you do sending 3 into the bash, you can actually continue your combo from there. If I can get it. Alright, anyways. Let's say this is mid-screen. The thing is, you can't do standing 3 into a floor or a wall bounce. Like, it just doesn't connect, as you can see. But this changes in the corner. You get like huge burst damage off of this. Look, I'll show it. If I can even do it. That was just for 2 bars, no buffs or anything, no parry. And she did over 50%. As you can see. So that's how you really just want to make use of it in the corner. Also, it's like it does like really good like that burst damage, so that you connect certain attacks. Like it changes the gravity. Like the main use of it is really just for like BMBs or very situational conversions in BMBs. That's really the use of it. That's really the main use of it, just because it doesn't have that much range, as you can see. And it's a little bit on the slow side. It's 14 frames. And the reason why I'm mentioning the range is just because you're +2, right? Sure, you're plus, so it's like, oh look, it's another plus move. The only thing is, you can use it, but then you get this pushback where nothing is going to connect. So it's completely pointless. I mean, I guess it helps because you can use the bash, and at least you're plus, but there's like no reason for this. One, it's too slow, so you can get interrupted. You're better off doing 2-2-3 or 1-1-3 just because you have all those additional mind games like I covered in the other portions, you know. So it's really pointless just to throw it out on block. It's really just for your BNBs, and for specific situations, like let's say they're just jumping, you catch the mid jump. It's really good for stuff like that. Like you get the most damage. Again, no buffs or anything. You just did all this damage just by doing that, by using the 3. I'm trying to remember the exact damage, just because I want to. There's a point to this. See, 587, right? Let's say I only did this, but I did the back 1. Oh my god, I messed that up. Let's say I just did back 1-1, right? Because it's my other optimal one. As you can see, 1, it changes the gravity. As you saw right there, how the combo completely changed. And you see them dropping faster. So I'm not going to be able to convert as well as I did, like with the other BNB. So I'm literally just left to do this. And you can see the drastic difference from before, almost like a 10% difference. So this is what I mean by it's situational. You just gotta know which BNBs to use the standing 3 for. Just because you do get the most damage when using this. But it's only in very specific situations. Or even like in her regular BNB. Let's say, you know, like back 3, jump 3, blah blah blah, you do standing 3 into the lasso, it does 368. If you just did back 1-1, it does 349. So you see, you know, it does that extra damage. So it's really only good for those reasons. And that's really that. I'll cover down 3 first instead of the back 3 and the forward 3. Her down 3, her sweep, which is her down 3, it's really good. One, it's a low, right? So it's, you know, it gives you that option of a low at this range, which is good. And it's a sweep. It is safe. A little bit slow, it's 15 frames, but again, it's safe. And the nice little perk of this is that it low profiles. So anything that can be low profiled, she can low profile because of that down 3. And that's really the main times that you're going to use a move like this. I feel like I should have just changed characters or something, just so I can show this better. It's like, let's say, you know, like I get the knockdown, I move in. See, I get to evade her wake up entirely. Oh, that was off. Oh my god. Can I not suck? See? I think you gotta punish for that. See? And I'm not sure. Let me see what happens with the regular bash. I think I might get beat out. Yeah, I'll get beat out. Just because it's faster. So it's like in those situations, like if you're using it for that, you just dash up and just do this. See, because look, I dash up and I just sweep. Oh. And you can keep on looping this too. Like, look, just sweep, sweep. And you can just keep on rinsing and repeating this all the time. See, so it's like, it depends on the matchups, but it's not really gonna matter in most cases whether it hits them or not. Okay, yeah. Hello. Good. Like, you can just keep on rinsing and repeating this. It's a really good way to evade certain back 3s. Like, let's say she does that, right? Oh. I guess it doesn't work in that situation. Okay, so bad example. Well, this works with other ones, like with other back 3s. And sorry, I just have some company over right now. But certain back 3s you can evade, certain specials you can evade. I think everybody gets annoyed by her shield toss, right? It's like, oh my god, it's so annoying, it's a mid, whatever, whatever, you can't duck it. You can actually evade things that aren't true mids with the sweep, as you can see. So if like you're in a clutch moment and you're trying to evade certain specials and you know that you can low profile them, this is when you use them the most. This is when you're going to use your sweep the most, just to avoid taking additional chip, additional damage. And as you can see, the recovery is actually really good. Like, as soon as she's done with the kick itself, that's it, she's free to move. So this is also like a really good way to move around or to maneuver around certain zoners. Like against Dr. Fate, you can sweep under his orbs, you can sweep under his pew-pews, you know, like the little fireballs. I'm trying to think who else is a really good example. Sub-Zero, I believe, like his ice ball, like the meter burn version, you can sweep underneath it. Green Lantern, his battery blast, you know, the full screen blast, you can sweep right underneath that, so you don't take any chip from that. And there's a whole bunch of others, but you know, those are the main things that come to mind. And that's really why you're going to use this like a lot, I guess, just in those specific situations and in those matchups. So now when it comes to like her back 3 and her forward 3. It works pretty much the same exact way as every other floor and wall bounce in the game. Like, it's pretty much the same exact thing. You know, it's like you do the back 3, it does that bounce attack, so you can continue your combo. You do the forward 3, it does that. And the back 3, like old back 3s, you know, it transitions them if they're near transition. The thing with her BMBs, you're really not going to use these all that much outside of those specific situations that are listed in the other videos, where it's like on hit or on block, where you're doing like anything, like let's say 1-1, you're baiting the gap, you're doing 2-2, you're baiting the gap, interrupt, you're doing down 1-2, you're baiting the counter poke. It's really just those situations where you cancel into them. It takes 2 bars, but canceling into the floor of the wall bounce is the same exact thing as doing them raw, except you just need the meter for it, for canceling into it. So it's like, you're not going to really just throw out a back 3 on block, unless it's from that kind of cancel. Same with the forward 3. And the reason why I'm saying that is, 1, they have startup, so it's not really all that good. And 2, As you can see, look at all this pushback. What am I supposed to do from this distance, you know? Like, there's not much that I can do unless I want to do, like, the shield bash. It's only better if you do the back 3 version, in which, as you can see, you're still not close enough. Obviously, it works better in the corner. But as you can see, the forward 3 always gives you that pushback. So that's why you don't really use these on block unless it's specifically from those cancels, from those situations. Which kind of sucks too, because she does have really good advantage. See, like the forward 3 is +6, the back 3 is +7. So this is really good because you can loop certain things like this to jail them. Like, it didn't do that much damage, but it's like these are things that you can do. It's like a sequence of plus frames and patching yourself up and stuff like that. And that's really the only times that you're really going to use it. And then the other times would just be, you know, like the standard BMBs. Little miscellaneous note, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this though. Whenever you get like the shield toss itself and you get that BMB, when it's mid-screen, only back 3 connects. Even if you're frame perfect, the forward 3 will not. So that's just something to keep in mind. Back 3 will connect all the time, but the forward 3 will not. It only changes when they're up against the wall. It only connects when it's in the corner, as you can see. And that's really that. If you're looking to do like unclashable damage, this is where you use this the most too. Like, you can do this, get the shield toss, and at this point, after the shield toss meter burn, this is all unclashable. And it's just kind of standard. But if you're not doing that, or another way that you can go about doing that is doing any string. You can do 1-1, down 1-2, 2-2, it doesn't matter. You can do that into the floor of the wall bounce. Get that additional burst of damage, because when you meter burn, the floor of the wall bounces, you know, it does additional damage. You can get this burst unclashable. And with meter burn, forward 3s and back 3s, they can't air tag afterwards either. So you get that additional benefit. So that's really the only times that you're gonna like really be using this, or making the most use out of this. So it's just things to be aware of. And that's really that for the 3s. Like, I don't really know what more to cover. You can't use this in the neutral. Like, it just doesn't work. It doesn't really have that kind of utility. It's really just, most of the time, it's really just going to be from hit confirms. Like, if you're looking to get a BMB, so you hit confirm into that. So you get all that started. I obviously dropped that, but, you know. So like right now, hit confirm. See, like, I didn't just throw this move out for the sake of just throwing it out. Same with the mid-screen BMBs, you know, you do all that, that's when this comes out. See, that's why down 1-2 kind of sucks. But yeah, you're never really throwing these moves out just raw. Except for, you know, like on Oki. Like, let's say you do this, and it's just to like eat a wake up. You do 1-1-3. You do that. But yeah, that's really it. That's it for the 3s. I guess I'll cover really quickly the jump attacks, and I'll combine them like together. Her jump attacks, they all have their own separate utility, and it's kind of annoying because you can't really just like throw her jumps for the sake of throwing them out. Jump 1, I think it does the same exact damage as jump 2. No, they do different damage. Jump 1 is kind of an all-around jump attack. It doesn't really have too many cross-up properties, because it's just her feet that are making the contact. As you can see, like, it's just the legs. As you can see, like, it was her foot that was kicking her. But if I do this, let me see if I can get it down right. I don't think I can. Okay, but it's like if her arm manages to touch them, or the rest of her body touches them, it's not going to do anything. She just goes right through them. It's only her feet, as you can see, and it only kicks forward. So it's like if you're trying to cross them up in that kind of a situation, it's not going to work, as you can see. And it's only active for like that very quick moment. I'm so sorry about the phone. You know what? I don't know why this phone has been going off the whole day. It never rings. Today it just decides to. Alright. So yeah, that's really the only reason why you use the jump one. And then the other benefit for it is just getting that little extra damage when you do certain BMPs like this. So it's a really good air-to-air. But if you're trying to just air-to-air people for the sake of air-to-airing them, you really just want to commit to the jump 2. Because this doesn't really have that much of a special property. Look, I'm gonna try to record this the right way. Okay, in general, this is actually really bad just because Wonder Woman is kind of the exception to this scenario. Most jump-ins, they have priority, and they kind of hit all around. They have like an axe kind of hitbox, like an L-shaped hitbox. Hers does not, so that's why this is like a really bad example. But the jump 2 will beat most of those out, or it'll at least trade. Like you're not really gonna lose many air-to-airs if you're using the jump 2, because it's just that good. But as you can see, it doesn't hit downward. So this is not a good move to use if you're trying to jump in at somebody. Like look at how buggy it is. Like it's only the sword that's active, as you can see. So the main and only use for this is for an air-to-air. And then covering her jump 3. Her jump 3 is actually one of the things you basically use as like footsies, because as you can see, the range that it carries. So you can use this either on hit or on block. It's entirely up to you, and it really just depends on the scenario. But mostly, I try to just rely on using it simply and solely for on block. So kind of going back to before when, you know, like I had them in the other video and I was just like looping this kind of scenario. The reason why you want to use this is because this is plus. Like if you're all the way high up over here, I think you are safe, but I don't think that you're plus. But if you're constantly just like, you know, like harassing them, like doing instant air shields and, you know, like contesting in this range, if you do like a really deep one, like a really deep jump 3, you are plus, I think like +5 or so. So you can jail, well not jail, but frame trap. In some cases you can jail. With the down with 2, you're guaranteed a grab. Of course they can backdash or they can armor, but if they're trying to press buttons, this will beat them out. And that's where I primarily use it. It's just, you know, like to gain some space, or not to gain some space, but to close the space. Just because as you can see, her body's over there and then the lasso stretches outward. As you can see. And as you can see, it's still like a mid. You have to wait until you're all the way down here before it becomes an overhead. You see? So it's like you're not trying. I know I started a little bit just because my mind is racing. You're not trying to open people up with this, but it is basically like a bonus if they do get hit because they're trying to mash. Like let's say you're doing this, you're trying to press buttons, you get to easily hit confirm. Like it's really, really easy to just hit confirm. Like you see that it happened, like you see that it hit them, and you can just keep on going from there. And just get like a little bit of combo, like a little bit of damage. You put them back in that same exact spot, and then you get to rinse and repeat, more or less. As you can see. And that's primarily how you use it. One of the ways, it also does like the most damage too, so it's like it's really good for optimal BMPs. But one of the other reasons why you kind of want to use this is just because, I mean, I'm trying to see how to set this up. Like let's say they're just holding back, and then they're trying to armor in reaction. See, like that, like to you jumping at them, let's say, right? In most cases, this is on reaction. Obviously, because I recorded this, I know that it's coming, so my timing is a little off. But in most cases, that's what happens. You're gonna get punished for it. You get hit once the meter burn is coming, because they're doing it on reaction to you jumping. So the reason why I jump in with jump 3 a lot too is because you get to do that. You can cancel on reaction to meter burn forward 3 and back 3 attempts. Because it comes out so fast, as you can see. And you can meter burn it if you'd like. But that one was like way too deep. That doesn't really ever happen. But yeah. So this also too, you can cancel into the EX shield. If it hits them with the meter burn, you get to get that convert, just like that. If they block it, you get chip, and your plus afterwards. Yeah, so yeah, this is plus EX shields. Well, the air one at least. So you get additional pressure for that. And then going over the like little stuff, as you saw, it is a little buggy, where it's like sometimes the lasso comes out, or it looks like it's coming out, but then it doesn't make any contact with them. You see, like sometimes it behaves that way. Ironically, it's not doing this with Wonder Woman against Wonder Woman, but this happens a lot in other matchups. The lasso kind of just goes right through them if you're too low to the ground. Oh, see, like right there. So it's just trying to be aware of it, and it happens in the air too. So you just want to be careful with that. And then like neat little tricks that you can do. You can't cancel on whiff from a jump 3. Like if it goes through something, like something that's invincible, if it goes like on hit or on block, you can cancel, sure, you can do all that. But on its own, you cannot cancel from the jump 3. But from jump 1, you can actually whiff it and cancel afterwards, as you can see. So you can change your trajectory in the air, you can change your downtime, or your air time a little bit by doing stuff like that. But it's a lot more lenient when you do the jump 1. As you can see, like I'm not putting them right away, I'm like inputting the shields right away. But when you do the jump 2, you have to do it instantly. Because look, if I try to delay it the same exact way, it doesn't come out at all. You have to literally do jump 2 into whatever special it is that you want. You have to, not like mash it, but you have to do it basically instantly, like alongside it. See? Like it doesn't give you like a window. Like look at how fast I have to input it. See, if I do it any slower, it just does not come out. So this is like a little something that you can use. But yeah, that's really all of that. But yeah, I think that's it. That's covering everything right now in terms of normals and her strings. This went on a lot longer than what I had intended it to, but at least it's in depth. At least I hope it is. It feels pretty in depth because I feel like I'm covering every single little bit. So the next parts are gonna be like the specials and her trait. I'm not gonna go too crazy over that. But yeah, it's probably gonna be like one big video with all the specials, just because she doesn't really have much. I mean, look. Yeah, she doesn't have much, so I can fit that all in one video. And then after that, I might do a third part in a sense of like knowing the gameplay and how to use her, like the best tactics and all that kind of stuff, and like movement, meter management, all that crap. I covered like little bits and pieces throughout, but I just want to do a video focused solely on that. But yeah, I hope that this was of use. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that it was of use in general. I apologize for like any like background noises and all that kind of stuff, and for like any fumbling around and any stuttering, just because I've been talking so long. I was streaming earlier, still am. But yeah, I hope that anyone watching this actually is able to walk away with like additional information and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day or night, and take care.